Hi, and welcome to Quirky Books with Katie. Today I'm going to be doing my March book haul. So in March, I amassed quite the amount of books, so I'm going to just get started. So the first set of books that I got in March, I got when I went to a book signing. The first book that I got is Faking Normal by Courtney C. Stevens. This book is about a girl named Alexi, and she recently went through a very traumatic event, and she has to kind of deal with this. And the boy next door named Bodhi also has gone through a traumatic event, and through helping each other, they kind of help to cope. And I already read this, and I loved it so much. And I have a review of it, which I will link in the down bar. The next book that I got at the signing is Panic by Lauren Oliver. I absolutely adore Lauren Oliver. She's one of my favorite writers. And Panic is the story of a game called Panic, which is held every summer in this small town of Carp. And the stakes are really high, but whoever wins the game gets this pot. And the pot in the book is like $50,000, some insane amount of money. And the kids in the town kind of play and try to win this money. And the last book I got at the signing, I got because it was on clearance, and that is Easy by Tamara Weber. I do not actually know what this book is about. I know that it's new adult. I know that it's a lot of people's favorite new adults. It comes up in those best new adult lists a lot. I think it has something to do with rape, but I'm not exactly sure. So if you've read this book, let me know in the comments down below if it's any good. Also in March, at the beginning of the month, it was my birthday, and of course, I got a lot of books as presents because I don't really want anything else. So these are going to be, the next few books are going to be the books that I got for my birthday. The first two books that I got for my birthday are Chasing Brooklyn and I Heart You, You Haunt Me by Lisa Schroeder. I have read The Day Before by Lisa Schroeder, and that book is just one of my favorites. She's such an amazing writer, and what's unique about her books is that they are told in verse. And I really like that, and both of these books are told from dual point of views, and they have something to do with death. The next book that I got is Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millay. This book is also dual point of view. It is about a girl named Nastia, and she recently had something awful happened to her, and she had to give up what she loved most in the world, which is playing piano. And this book takes place about a year after that. She moves to a town, and she meets this boy named Josh, who also is kind of dealing with a lot. He believes that everyone who is close to him eventually ends up dying or leaving, and they kind of have to help each other deal with these things that they deal with. And if you're sensing a theme here, yes, it is contemporaries that are extremely emotional, because I like to torture myself like that. Next, I have Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I have read Hopeless and Slammed by Colleen Hoover and loved those. And this one has something to do with music, I believe. And I know the cool thing about this book is that it comes with a soundtrack. So you kind of are supposed to listen to it as you read the book, because some of the lyrics are actually translated into song. And I think that's so cool. And I can't wait to read this book. I've heard some pretty good things about it so far. Next, I have The Demon King by Cinda Williams Shima, and this is a high fantasy book. I believe it is the first in a series, and I know Reagan from Peruse Project. She is awesome. I love her channel, and she talks about this book all the time, and she says it's really good fantasy. I really like fantasy, and I've tried to get more into it lately. I just have an issue with some high fantasy because it is a little confusing, but I am very excited to read this book. Speaking of fantasy, the next book that I have is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. And before I even start with a summary, look at this beautiful book. Just look at it. This is probably like one of the most beautiful books I've ever owned. And this book is set before the Throne of Glass series. It's a set of prequel novellas. Now, when I heard about this, I was like, oh, it's going to be a small book. No, this is pretty heavy. This is over 500 pages, which is basically the size of the second book, Crown of Midnight. And also I'm reading this right now, and even the novellas kind of tell its own story. So this is basically a prequel book / set of novellas to the Throne of Glass series, which is an amazing series, and you guys should all read it. The last book that I got for my birthday is Side Effects May Vary, and I am actually going to be releasing an announcement about this book soon regarding live shows and read-alongs and friends and awesomeness. So be sure to tune in for that. And this book is about cancer. It is about a girl who had cancer, and she kind of had this bucket list of really weird, obscure things that she wanted to do before she died. And she accomplished all of them, and then she realized, oh, no, I'm in remission. I have to deal with basically the side effects of everything that happened. So next, my friend Whitney from Witty Novels contacted me a few weeks ago, and she said, I'm getting rid of some of my books. Would you like any of these? And I said, heck yes. So thank you so much, Whitney, for sending me these books. Whitney is amazing, and if you have never checked out her channel, you must, because she is awesome and nice and hilarious. And let's be real, her tweets about her goats make my day. The first book that she sent me is Saving June by Hannah Harrington. I do not know what this book is about. I know that it is yet another emotional contemporary, and I know that it is very talked about and hyped, and a lot of people really love it. The next book that she sent me is Bunheads by Sophie Flack, and this book is obviously about ballet. Now, when I first heard of this book, I thought it was related to the series on ABC Family called Bunheads, which I really liked, but it's something different. But I'm excited. I really like kind of reading contemporaries about different sports and stuff like that. Next, I got The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. I have read her Blood of Eden series, which is about vampires, and I love it. And I think this series is about fairies and fae. Now, I have a very love-hate relationship with fairy books, mostly hate. For some reason, the world and the mythology never seems to capture my attention, but I have heard some good things about this series, and apparently there is a swoon-worthy main character, which is always nice. Next, I have This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales, and this book has to do with music and DJing, which I love music, and I'm really excited to read this book because I know when it came out it was getting so many fabulous reviews, and I know a lot of people have hauled this, but I haven't really heard that many things about it. So if you've read it, then let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed it. And the last book that Whitney sent me was Such a Rush by Jennifer Eccles. I've always kind of been intrigued by this cover with the hair and everything, and I am intrigued by this book. I don't think it's very high on my TBR, but it's a really pretty cover, and this book is basically, I like the cover, I must have it. So thank you so much again, Whitney, for sending me all of these books. And the last book of my haul is America the Beautiful, Rediscovering What Makes This Nation Great by Dr. Ben Carson. I actually went to a speaking event of his last week, and I got this book signed by him, which if I can open it, here is his signature. And Dr. Ben Carson is a neurosurgeon. He used to be in charge of children's neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Maryland, and I just think he's really inspiring, and his book was very good. So if you've read or heard anything about any of these books, then let me know in the comments down below. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you again soon.